In this video, we are going to show you how to get your Polaris Xpedition dash mount installed in your Polaris Xpedition. I'm going to show you the differences of the three different panels and how we mount them in the car. We have the two different panels that hold the radios, and there's a little cutting involved with these two panels. And then we have our standalone model, which doesn't have a radio, and this is a very simple install and takes no cutting. We now need to mount the switch panel to the panel mount. For our Pro 8 switch panel, it comes with the hardware needed to do this step. So what we do is we take the dowels that came in this package, you put them in the 4 locations on the back of the switch panel, the top 2 and the bottom 2. So they just screw right in. And you just screw them in by hand until they bottom out. So there you go. You got all 4 in there, and they're going to match up with the 4 holes that are in all of our panels. As simple as that. Now that it's on there, what you're going to do on the back side is take the supplied brackets that go on like so. Move this wire out of the way. They go on the back through the dowels, just like so. And then in the hardware kit, you will also find the lock washer, the regular washer, and the lock nut that goes on there. So we're going to put all 4 of those on there, screw them down tight. Once you have all 4 screws tightened on there, remember, don't over tighten these. All you got to do is make them flush with the nylocks to hold them on there. This is not a situation where you got to put much pressure on these screws. So that's all done. At this point, we assume you've already installed the Pro 8 switch panel, hopefully, or whatever other switch panel you're installing on your vehicle. And you have the wire for the switch panel located here in your dash cubby right now. So we would just want to screw this together at this point and make sure that's connected. Slide the panel on. Make sure you have it exactly where you want it. Then with the supplied screws that come with your dash panel kit, you just drive them into both holes. One right there, and that's it. You'll be fully mounted. At this point, if you haven't already installed a rocker switch for some other accessory on your vehicle, you can use one of the panel mount covers on there, and that's it. It's a simple install. To install one of our mounts that have radios in them, there are a few additional steps that you will need to do. Again, we have already installed a PCI radio in this car, so we are working backwards, but this is a very simple process here. So in your car, you're going to have all your rocker switches in this area right now. You're going to want to remove the rocker switches that are in use and relocate them into an empty spot up here on the top. Once these are all empty and you've got all your individual rocker slots, you're going to want to open it up. How you open it up is taking a sharp razor blade and running it straight across, just removing the uprights of each rocker hole, and along the bottom to also remove the bottom part of the rocker uprights. Do not get into this upper section up here, because as you can see, a screw hole here and a screw hole here. That's what's going to mount the new dash panel. So you don't want to go up into this piece right here. You're only cutting the top of the supports of the rocker switch verticals. At this point, what you want to do is a test fit. Now you've opened this all up. It's ready to test fit. The radio supports that hold your either rugged radio or PCI radio will be sticking through the back of our panel. So what you want to do is slide those into the opening and just place the panel flat on your dash and make sure everything lines up. As you can see, we are perfect right to the bottom of your HVAC controller right there. And this is a perfect fit. We've got the room here. Nothing is impeding where the radio is going to go in. So we look good. We're going to go ahead and pull this off and get it ready for the final install. Now we're going to go ahead and get this installed into the dash. As you can see here, I've already got the radio. We have a external intercom in the rocker spot position, and then we have, of course, the Pro 8 switch panel. So what I like to do is on the radio here, it screws into the side. I leave it loose so I can move it, because that's going to make it easier to get it in. And then once I get it in halfway, we're going to tighten it up. You can see I've got the wire for the switch panel done. I've got the wire for the external intercom done. I got the power wires for the radio. We've got the antenna wire plugged in. Everything is routed properly, ready to go. If you are doing an external intercom with your setup, we have it sitting right down here. That's what this box is right here inside this little dash compartment that you will no longer be using when you put this dash on. So it's a good place to put all the wiring and put your external intercom unit. All right, so we want to do this without scratching the dash up. So, you know, just kind of get the wiring all positioned the best you can in here. All right, slide this down. Okay, so I'm going to get the radio started. You can see I'm watching out for the gear shift here. That's why I leave the panel loose, so I can push the radio all the way up closest to the front and feed all the wires in. And then we're just going to kind of gently put this in. I'm paying attention right here to not scratch the panel. So I'm kind of bending a little bit to get it right about there. I'm going to get these guys back in here. Oh. There we go. That's how we want to do it. Keep that popped out. All right, let's do this again. So we're sliding it in. I'm paying attention to not push on that, doing real gentle. You got to kind of bend a little bit. Wiggle her in. And there we go. Okay. All right. And that looks good. We're going to go ahead and remove all the green tape, get it readjusted, and then we're going to put in the 4 screws to secure it in. Now we got the panel in place. Everything is exactly how we want it. The radio is pushed into where we want it, and we tightened up the screws on the side. So we're ready to mount this thing permanently. You can see that we took all the tape off, so before you screw things down, you can just lift up and remove all that tape off of the dash. And so you've got 4 screws here, 2 on the bottom, and then 2 on the top is where you mount this. So we've already mounted this once before, so the holes are already there, but these are self-tapping screws, so you can use a drill or Phillips head or whatever, and they're going to go right in. You don't need to go super tight, just get them snug, and we'll go ahead and finish this up. And there you go. All 4 screws are installed. Nice, clean setup. The black powder coat matches the dash really nice. And that's how you install it. And there we go. We've got a complete install. It's all in the dash. It looks like it belongs there. It's a very clean finish. The powder coat matches the dash. But what's really nice about that, remember earlier in the video I said, instead of having to mount your switch panel up here on the roof where you're looking up to change buttons, over here on the dash, whatever, or if you had your radio over here on the side where I see a lot of people putting them, somehow you got to be driving and looking over here and doing that. With our setup, you're right here. Everything's very easy to access. It's the proper place for it. You guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. You can find all of these products on our website. Thanks for watching.